How's it going, guys? Hope you're all having a fantastic day. For today's build, we're doing a Jedi Training Remote, seen in A New Hope when Luke is training with his saber for the first time. So to start off with, I modelled all the little greeblies and parts. Then I started to print them. In total, there was over 100 individual little pieces. So the original plan was to make it a floating prop with an electromagnet. I ended up ordering a DIY kit at the same time I was ordering all the other parts for the build. One of these for reference. But after 2 weeks, it still hadn't shipped and the order got cancelled. And at this point, most of the stuff I had ordered had already arrived. So instead of waiting a month or two for the magnet to arrive, I decided to finish the video now with a custom display stand. So for people wondering why I didn't do the floating version, that's why. So with all the parts printed, it's time to start attaching everything to the ball. I just used a desk globe I had lying around. It was the correct diameter and was already white, so it matched the printed parts. Now this actually did take a while, as getting every part on it just right wasn't easy. I also had a bit of trouble getting the glue to properly adhere to the plastic, but after a generous amount and letting it sit for a while, everything seemed to stick just fine. So for the 1-inch holes, I didn't have a drill or step bits big enough, so I decided to sharpen a little bit of 25mm aluminum tubing. Then heat it with a blowtorch and press out the 6 holes. And it worked great, as the globe is just thin plastic. Then a quick test fit to make sure all the truck rims fit, and onto painting. Now obviously I did multiple coats for both white and clear coat. I also did clear coats in between the weathering. But in the end, the paint job is fragile, as it doesn't stick to the plastic the best. And because the plastic isn't rigid to begin with, if you apply too much pressure to the ball, it will crack the paint layers. So now on to weathering. I used a mustard yellow to give the pale white a more cream look. I also used a metallic red paint, then a matte red to lighten and dull the shine. brown acrylic wash to add age to the prop. For the base, I wasn't really sure what design to go with, but as I was looking online, I found a design that was already pre-made that somebody had designed for their own version of this prop. I ended up scaling it down, printing it, and painting it with the same method as the rest of the build, so they match perfectly. I also machined a small acrylic extension so the remote can either sit directly on the base or slightly above. At the end, you can see the difference between the two display styles and decide which one you like best. Now to finish off the build, I'll glue in these small frosted circles. And then last but not least, time to glue in the model truck rims. So that's pretty much all for this build. I hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a comment of a future build. Just before I finish the video, I did want to say you can check out my Etsy store where you can get all kinds of props and kits and lightsaber parts so you can make your own DIY builds. I'll leave a link in the pinned comment. Have a good one, guys. I'll see you in the next video. I see you've made it to the end. Why don't you subscribe and check out some of our other builds? Go on, what are you waiting for?